All right, welcome to the headlines. This is the part of the show where we discuss what's happening in progressive activism. And have I got a doozy for you? One formerly homeless woman saved millions of people from being kicked out of their homes, for now, by taking a stand, or rather a seat, on the Capitol steps. Representative Cori Bush started sleeping outside on the Capitol steps Friday when Congress adjourned without extending the moratorium on evictions that is keeping millions of Americans from suddenly becoming homeless. Over the weekend, Representative Bush was joined by AOC, as well as Representative Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, Jamaal Bowman of New York, and Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Congress let the moratorium lapse on Sunday as they headed out for their August recess, also known as vacay. They went on vacation while the people they represent were getting their belongings tossed into the yard. I mean, was this the ultimate let them eat cake while I party with Obama in the vineyard moment, or what? Or did they not realize that the vicious landlords and eviction courts are literally on people's doorsteps waiting for midnight to bust down the door and put babies and grandmas in the street in the middle of a pandemic? It's murderous. They knew it was coming. This deadline has been on the books since the last deadline. Pelosi said she didn't know and that she didn't have time to act. Last Thursday, President Biden pressed Congress to pass legislation that would extend the moratorium. They had to do it by Friday. He couldn't have asked on Monday? No, it had to be Thursday to provide some plausible deniability to Pelosi, who said, I didn't have enough time to whip up support. This is not even believable. I mean, how much whipping do you need to do anyway? The Dems have a majority. We're supposed to be the party of the people. You rely on these people to vote you into office, these particular people. I mean, how much whipping does there need to be to avoid millions of your own voters going homeless? This Thursday, Biden took the time in his little talk to remind everyone that his administration no longer had the power to extend the stopgap due to a decision by the Supreme Court. A little history. The moratorium was originally put in place by the CDC last year to, try to slow the spread of COVID by not having people who all of a sudden didn't have jobs out in the streets getting and spreading COVID. Biden extended it several times, to his credit. But someone took it to the Supreme Court because I guess they wanted a lot of people thrown out onto the street, or they felt bad for the poor landlords who have to pay the voracious banks, who, of course, can't be forced to stop collecting mortgage payments. Can they? During a global crisis? Let's think bigger. I think so. In June, the right-wing Supreme Court narrowly ruled to leave the CDC's moratorium in place, but it stipulated that any further extension of the moratorium would require an act of Congress, an act that would take a long time and allow for Republican obstructionism and all-around blame gaming, which we are seeing now. Biden says his hands are tied. Pelosi said she didn't see this coming, and BlackRock is laughing all the way to the bank. Yes, BlackRock, the financial giant who in 2008, during the housing market crash, bought up tens of thousands of foreclosed homes and doubled their profits. President Biden, by the way, and Vice President Harris both have BlackRock executives as their top economic advisors. Perhaps renters should join the Alabama coal miners in front of BlackRock, who brought their 3-month strike to the BlackRock headquarters, which you're seeing bloodied here on our image section in New York City, because the company is profiting off treating miners like expendable slave labor. We covered that last week. We will cover it again in the future. But for now, suffice it to say about this eviction moratorium, no one did anything. Cori Bush's protest hit the press. Then all of a sudden, something got done. Biden extended the eviction moratorium, even though he is not sure if it's completely legal for him to do so, which I gotta say shows some spine, even though it was really up to Congress to do it. At least people will remain housed while someone takes the Biden administration to court and Congress gets back and has to face these issues themselves. But people still will have their houses while that is all unfolding. His move is expected to cover 90% of the renting population. Now, it has to be said here that many states have their own moratoriums in place. Blue states, mostly. I think New York goes to the end of August. The danger was mostly to people in red states whose elected officials, some of whom they elected themselves, wouldn't mind seeing them out in the street. Let's remember, by the way, that according to studies, Black and Hispanic people are routinely at higher risk for eviction. I'm just going to leave that right there on the table, and you can discuss it among yourselves, or you can put some comments in the comments, which I do, in fact, read. Biden has talked about a whole of government the effort to stem the evictions. Includes his $46 billion in emergency rental assistance, which was supposed to go to those most in need. Where are we with that? I learned right here on ACT.TV, on this very YouTube channel, on the YouTube part, watching my colleague's video report, that only 12% of that money has been distributed. The rest, I guess, fell off the back of a truck or something. But moreover, one woman's action in this progressive news report, one woman's direct action from conviction is responsible today for millions of people being tucked in, snug in their beds this very night. Thank you, Cori Bush, for that act of conscience and everyone who showed solidarity with her. I'm Julianna Forlano. You're watching ACT TV. Don't forget to subscribe to us and share us with your friends.